She was America's wholesome sweetheart for 3 decades. Aunt Becky from Full House, the Hallmark Channel queen who starred in dozens of feel-good movies about family values and doing the right thing.
I would encourage every parent to show that clip. I know I'm going to show my girl.
Lori Loughlin built an entire career on being trustworthy, relatable, and morally upright. Then in March 2019, FBI agents showed up at her door at dawn with handcuffs and federal charges. The woman who'd made millions playing the perfect aunt and mother had allegedly paid $500,000 in bribes to cheat her daughters into college. The wholesome image was a lie, and the entire country watched as it shattered in the most spectacular way.
A bride and a groom, just married. The bride goes into the ladies' room to fix her makeup.
But here's what they don't tell you about Lori Loughlin's fall from grace. While other celebrities caught in the same scandal immediately took plea deals and expressed remorse, Lori fought the charges for over a year, convinced she'd done nothing wrong. That decision to fight would make everything exponentially worse. So what really happened to Lori Loughlin?
Please call me Becky.
Becky, I like that.
How did Aunt Becky become a federal criminal? And why did the woman who'd spent decades playing moral paragons make such catastrophically bad decisions? The answer reveals how privilege creates blind spots so profound that people can commit crimes while genuinely believing they're just being good parents. Origins and discovery. Queens, New York, 1964. Lori Ann Loughlin was born into a working-class Italian-American family where success meant hard work and seizing whatever opportunities came your way. Her father was a foreman for the New York Telephone Company, her mother a homemaker. This was a household that valued education, respectability, and the American dream of upward mobility. Lori was a beautiful child, and in the 1970s, that beauty became a commodity. She started modeling at a young age, appearing in print ads and catalogs, the unglamorous work that paid modest money, but could lead to bigger opportunities. Her parents saw it as a smart way to earn extra income, and perhaps open doors for their daughter. By her early teens, Lori had transitioned from print modeling to television commercials. She had something beyond just looks, a natural warmth and likability that cameras captured effortlessly. Casting directors noted how genuine she seemed, how audiences would instinctively trust her. Her first significant role came at 15, on the ABC soap opera The Edge of Night, playing Jodie Travis from 1980 to 1981. Daytime television was the training ground for countless actors, a place to learn the craft while earning steady paychecks. Lori proved herself professional and reliable, exactly the kind of young actress who could build a sustainable career. The transition from soap operas to primetime was the goal for most daytime actors, but few successfully made the jump. Lori spent the mid-1980s doing what most working actors do: guest appearances on various shows, small film roles, slowly building a resume and making connections in an industry where who you knew often mattered as much as talent. Then, in 1987, came the audition that would define her career. ABC was developing a family sitcom called Full House, about a widowed father raising 3 daughters with help from his brother-in-law and best friend. They needed someone to play Rebecca Donaldson, a co-host on the father's morning show who would eventually become his love interest. Lori landed the role in the show's second season, joining a cast that already had chemistry and a growing fan base. Rebecca, who would become Aunt Becky after marrying Uncle Jesse, was sophisticated, professional, and warm. She was the stable, responsible adult in a household of chaos, the voice of reason who also had a playful side. The character fit Lori perfectly, and audiences embraced her immediately. Full House became a cultural phenomenon throughout the late 80s and early 90s, one of ABC's biggest hits, and a show that defined family entertainment for an entire generation. Lori wasn't the star, but she was a crucial part of an ensemble that millions of families welcomed into their homes every week. The show's success meant steady work, good money, and most importantly, a carefully crafted public image. Lori Loughlin became synonymous with wholesome family values, trustworthiness, and the kind of moral clarity that made her perfect for America's living rooms. That image would become both her greatest asset and, ultimately, her downfall. Full House fame and Hallmark empire. Full House ran from 1987 to 1995, 8 seasons that cemented Lori's place in American pop culture. But more than that, those years established a brand that would define her career for decades. Lori Loughlin was wholesome, reliable, and safe for the whole family. Behind the scenes, she cultivated a reputation for professionalism. Cast members described her as kind, prepared, and drama-free. Exactly the kind of actor that producers wanted to work with repeatedly. In an industry full of difficult personalities and on-set conflicts, Lori was refreshingly easy. When Full House ended in 1995, Lori faced the challenge that confronts most sitcom actors. How do you maintain relevance after your defining role ends? Many of her castmates struggled with this transition, becoming forever typecast or fading from the spotlight entirely. Lori's strategy was brilliant in its simplicity. Instead of fighting her wholesome image, she leaned into it completely. Throughout the late 90s and 2000s, she became a staple of made-for-TV movies and family-friendly programming. But her real empire was built at the Hallmark Channel. Starting in the early 2000s, Hallmark was creating feel-good movies with predictable plots, moral lessons, and guaranteed happy endings. Lori became Hallmark royalty, starring in dozens of films including the Garage Sale mystery series and countless Christmas romances. Her personal life seemed equally picture-perfect. In 1997, she married Massimo Giannulli, the fashion designer behind the Target clothing brand. They had 2 daughters, Olivia Jade and Isabella Rose, and presented themselves as the ideal American family. Successful, beautiful, happy. Social media amplified this image. Lori's Instagram became a carefully curated showcase of family perfection, beach vacations, holiday celebrations, proud parent moments. Everything seemed perfect until the FBI came knocking. Operation Varsity Blues and the Fall. March 12, 2019, 6 a.m. FBI agents knocked on Lori Loughlin's door with an arrest warrant. The same scene was playing out simultaneously at dozens of homes across the country. Wealthy parents being arrested for involvement in the largest college admissions scandal in American history. Operation Varsity Blues exposed a massive scheme orchestrated by Rick Singer, who helped wealthy families cheat their children into elite universities. Lori and Massimo had allegedly paid $500,000 to get both daughters admitted to USC as recruited crew team members. The problem: neither had ever participated in crew. The evidence was damning. FBI had emails, bank records, and photographs Lori and Massimo had taken of their daughters on rowing machines to create fake athletic portfolios. There were recorded conversations with Singer discussing the scheme. But here's where Lori made everything worse. She pleaded not guilty and fought the charges. Felicity Huffman, caught in the same scandal, immediately accepted responsibility and received 14 days in prison. Lori chose to fight for over a year. The strategy backfired spectacularly. In May 2020, facing overwhelming evidence, they finally pleaded guilty. Lori received 2 months in prison, significantly harsher than others who'd cooperated early. She served her sentence at FCY Dublin during the COVID-19 pandemic released in December 2020. Her real punishment wasn't prison. It was watching 40 years of career building disappear overnight. Cancellation and attempted comeback. The industry response to Lori's arrest was swift and brutal. Within hours of the charges becoming public, the Hallmark Channel, the network that had been her bread and butter for nearly 2 decades, released a statement cutting all ties with her. Every movie, every partnership, everything that had made her their queen was erased overnight. Fuller House had to scramble mid-production. The Netflix reboot was filming its final season when the scandal broke. And suddenly, their beloved Aunt Becky was radioactive. The writers hastily wrote her character out, explaining her absence with vague references to Aunt Becky being in Nebraska. Lori didn't even get a proper goodbye for a character she'd played for decades. Brand partnerships evaporated. Companies that had paid Lori to represent their family-friendly products wanted nothing to do with her. The wholesome image that had been worth millions was now a liability. She'd become the poster child for wealthy privilege and parental entitlement. her daughters faced their own reckonings. Olivia Jade, who'd built a lucrative influencer career with millions of followers, lost major sponsorships with Sephora and other brands. Her influencer empire, built on aspirational lifestyle content, collapsed when audiences realized that lifestyle had been purchased through fraud. The social media mockery was relentless. Memes about Aunt Becky going to prison flooded the internet. Late-night comedians made her the punchline of endless jokes. The schadenfreude was palpable. America loved watching the wholesome celebrity revealed as a hypocrite who'd cheated the system while preaching family values. What made Lori's fall particularly satisfying to critics was the entitlement she'd displayed throughout. While other parents in the scandal showed remorse early, Lori had fought the charges, seemingly unable to comprehend that she'd done something wrong. The year-long legal battle made her look not just guilty, but arrogant. During her prison sentence, the world moved on without her. New Hallmark queens emerged to fill her movies. Fuller House concluded without addressing her character meaningfully. The entertainment industry that had sustained her for 40 years simply continued as if she'd never existed. When Lori was released in December 2020, she faced a question that few celebrities have had to confront. Was redemption even possible? She'd served her time, paid her fines, completed her legal obligations. But the court of public opinion operates differently than legal courts, and forgiveness isn't guaranteed just because you've served your sentence. For nearly 2 years, Lori stayed almost completely out of the public eye. No social media posts, no interviews, no attempts to explain or apologize publicly. Her daughters gradually returned to social media, with Olivia Jade even appearing on Red Table Talk to discuss the scandal, but Lori remained silent. The comeback attempt finally came in 2023. Great American Family, a new network founded by former Hallmark executives, cast Lori in When Hope Calls, a series that represented her first acting work since the scandal. The network was positioning itself as a conservative alternative to Hallmark, perhaps calculating that its audience would be more forgiving. The reception was mixed at best. Some fans celebrated her return, arguing that she'd served her sentence and deserved a second chance. Others were furious, viewing her casting as evidence that wealthy white celebrities can commit crimes and simply wait out the controversy. Lori gave a few carefully controlled interviews, offering partial acknowledgments of wrongdoing while still maintaining she'd believed she was making legitimate donations. The apologies felt calculated rather than genuine, more about career rehabilitation than actual remorse. The reality is that Lori will likely never reclaim what she lost. The Hallmark empire is gone. The wholesome brand is permanently damaged. The career that had sustained her for 4 decades has been reduced to whatever scraps conservative networks might offer. So what really happened to Lori Loughlin? Privilege blinded her to the difference between helping your children and committing federal crimes on their behalf. The truth is, Lori's downfall wasn't just about the crime. It was about the arrogance of fighting charges when the evidence was overwhelming. Had she followed Felicity Huffman's approach and immediately accepted responsibility, she might have survived. Instead, her year-long battle made her look entitled and delusional. For 40 years, she'd built a career playing wholesome, trustworthy characters. Then she revealed it was all performance. The woman who made millions preaching family values had paid $500,000 to fake her daughter's athletic credentials, created elaborate deceptions, and when caught, couldn't comprehend she'd done anything wrong. Today, Lori exists in entertainment purgatory. She's served her sentence, but public forgiveness remains elusive. The Hallmark empire is gone, replaced by minor roles on conservative networks willing to overlook scandal. Her legacy will forever be divided. Decades of wholesome entertainment overshadowed by spectacular hypocrisy. Aunt Becky is now inseparable from the federal defendant who proved that privilege creates blind spots so profound that people can commit crimes while genuinely believing they're just being good parents. If you found this story compelling, hit that subscribe button for more examinations of how the mighty fall. I'll see you in the next one.